Medinda, good morning. Prydau Bos Genochui in Withata. It's very pleasant to be with you. Now, as promised last week, I'm going to tell you a little more about Luenda Perrin, which is coming up very shortly. I'm also going to play you another piece by the Cornwall Police Choir from that marvellous concert that I also described last week. And I've also got in the studio with me this morning Rod Lyon of St.Ives to talk about a new Cornish learning course, a correspondence course called Diskin Kernewek. But first of all, Luenda Perrin. Well, Luenda Perrin is now into its 10th year this year, and it's become one of the major festivals on the Celtic festival circuit. And Golan Vleddyn Mav is Sintjes the Borth Perrin, Deliusius, and Mis Hedre. And Dedio Paran you, de Merher, and Dodegvis, bis the de Zul, and Huetigvis. So that's from Wednesday the 12th of October until Sunday the 16th of October, though often in practice it seems to go on until the morning of Monday the 17th. If you want to make a reservation in the hotel where the festival takes place, that is the Punsmere Hotel, Porthperrin, then you are advised to book early. Rag ergile resubus avar, dresol dreffenbos hemme, degres bluth and gulkes Celtic ma. So there will be a lot of bookings for places, and you are advised to book early. In case you don't know what the festival is, it's a festival, or Gul Kes Celtic. Travelling groups come from Ireland, Wales, Brittany, Scotland, Isle of Man, bringing with them their music, their dancing, their language, and as well there are craft exhibitions, book exhibitions, chats, drinks, meals, walks on the beach, you name it, a whole host of activities, all of which have in common the theme of Celtia. Well, there are pockets of Celtia, or the Celtic spirit, all over the world, of course, and there is a particular pocket of Cornish Celticness in Australia. The concert, which I went to a fortnight it is ago now, which was on behalf of the Corenza singers, was, of course, to raise funds for them to go to Australia in 1989. And in a second, I'm going to be playing you another piece from the Cornwall Police Choir, who were the main artists at that concert. But before I do, I'd like to play you a little of the introduction given by the chairman for the evening, Howard Kernewek, in which he described what Little Cornwall in Australia is like.
You can also wander down the main street of Munster today and go into the Cornish kitchen and collect your Cornish pasty. Although whether that's as good as Hetty's down at Foot 11, I'm not sure. My advice is that you don't go too far down the street, because further down on the left-hand side there's another place selling Devonshire cream teas. Every 2 years in South Australia they put the lot together and have a Kernewek Luenda, a massive gathering with tens of thousands of people from all over Australia and all over the world, a festival of Cornish culture. Of course, the reason for this concert, as we said, is to help to raise funds to promote Cornwall in Australia's Little Cornwall. And just to give you some idea of why many of us feel very strongly that the Corenza singers are the people that we should support, the fact is that they were founded 10 years ago almost, on Good Friday 1979, and since that time have raised thousands of pounds entirely for charity. They have raised £4,500 for the Mount Edgecombe Hospice in St. Austell, £1,200 gone to West Cornwall Hospital, £600 to Macmillan Nurses, and at the moment they are busy working for St. Julia's Hospital at Hale.
And that's Howard Kernewek describing the Little Cornwall part of South Australia, and also explaining why the Corenza singers deserve our support to be going up to the Kernewek Luenda there next year. Corenza, or Carinthia, of course, means charity. So, without further ado, let's hear now from the Cornwall Police Choir with their conductor Arnold Oates singing a piece by that well-known composer Anon, Gabriel's Trumpet, well-known favourite this among male voice choirs in Cornwall. Cornwall Police Choir hitting the roof beams. Lovely stuff. Now, last week I suggested 3 ways in which those of you who are interested in joining in a Cornish class might go about it. Firstly, find out from your local adult education centre or office whether there is in fact a Cornish class near you. There are several in many Cornish towns, and it's worth finding out that first. Secondly, if you can't find an evening class close to you, an official one as part of the adult education programme, then telephone Weller Brown, who is the secretary of the Cornish Language Board. His telephone number is saltash 2273, saltash 2273, and he may be able to give you information about private classes or other classes that are closer to you. And thirdly, if both of those fail, and they shouldn't, but if they do, or if you haven't remembered both of those, then write to me, John King, Radio Cornwall, Phoenix Wharf, Truro, and I will try to find out the nearest viable Cornish class to you and give you that information. Hagor ulvero hena, alvi gofyn wrth disgydorion, marsys, class gorthio Kernewek, class arrow, genwch, ha marsys yn class na o talus, lemon, genys, eld di marflec rhy ddim o fi derifadw yn y gyfer, ma halaf ag ergawsel the 2-0. Well, one class I didn't mention last week, or one way of learning Cornish that I didn't mention last week, was a new course that has been devised by Rod Lyon. Rod is the chairman of Agan Tavas, the organisation which exists to promote spoken Cornish, and he himself is a very fluent speaker of Cornish and well known to you because he is, in his alter persona, the George of our little radio soap opera, George Has Samantha. And I'm joined this morning by Rod in the flesh, as it were. A little less flesh than I've got, but here he is actually with us. Hello, Rod. Midden dawdis.
Midden dawion.
Lemon, alavi gofyn, Rod. Peth yw'n stws noeth ma, disgi Kernewek?
Disgi Kernewek sties in du ram, du vledden. En kens of vledden, atek diskins, ag a nessen vledden, and case. So, I'm a hoitek one egans, all our bars.
I thought these scriffis in liver, yeah? Paul.
And you stees kescrif. Tees ale scriff author V. I pay them like and stees in tin, po in vledden, po du vledden. El gameris and stees Scythen or just Scythen, po put do Scythen, and do is scans and Dorian.
So it's basically a correspondence course in several parts, and people should obviously stick to it week by week. But because it's in several parts and lasts for a long time, people could pick it up right from beginning, right the way through. How big cost you Arta and Stees?
And Stees, you pins put bledden.
£15.
They do bledden.
£15 a year for a 2-year course. So £30 altogether for the entire course.
Against Stees and Tien.
Yeah. Two sera gofyn in Fenwch pan rons daleth disg Kernewek, snod, ni wan fatal leferol yn gerio ma, snod, pris ar a gofyn yn gofyn na. A fydd snod?
Yes, yma snod being, nyn ysmornus si pinvec, nyn ysmornus and sono semple, del leferus fi in commendians and slees, levina fi disgwelus and difference inter and sono all in Kernewek, yma sono difference in Cornwall as in Cornwall West. Mays and this origavi gil, you the real deafness and sono kemen, you definitely scans and brosson and teeth straight Cornwall.
So there is a tape available which will help with pronunciation, and you're not getting deeply involved into fine academic questions about pronunciation. It's simply the common everyday workaday pronunciation of the Cornish you speak and other Cornish speakers that you converse with. And you appear there. A thought, momentus po cafos moi derivado in Keveran stews, po dalith genwch in tien, lemon, paran, pandaronji, onji scrifa du, po peth.
And I do that, and you gil, yn Kenza I ysgriffa wrth fi, po yn diwedd sy'n ysgriffa wrth G.
O, pwy dda. Wel, peth yw'r adrig fa G?
Awthrig fi yw gwel an menydd, nans y golen, helys.
Gwel an menydd, Gwel, A-N-M-E-N-E-T-H. Nans y golen, helys, po, Helston. Pwy dda. Po, sgriffa ddim o fi. Or, if you haven't got that address down, write to me, John King, Radio Cornwall, Phoenix Software, and I will pass your application or letter on. Hag a fynd i Digameres an Arhans Solabris in Kinsley, Paul?
Wel, mi o restri hynny gan pup studio, Mars nep studio di Weiss, heb mi o arns, po nep dyn course, person course, heb mi o arns, wel, mi o restri payment in ran, hanter and bleven, po quarter and bleven, po pup saithen. Rag ensemble, in Irma, thermo ledia baggage in Cameron, agi pay them pup saithen.
Yeah. Okay.
Like put Ramen Steve.
Pwy dda, I mean, I can bear this. So that people don't necessarily have to send you the money straight away for the course. They can pay you pup saithen each week, or they can negotiate with you an arrangement for paying for the course, and you're quite happy to accept that.
Gwir. Mars is the opponent Mays Garno, heb doubt if he moyes a paid is too.
Sure.
Mays an opponent in Carno, around vet you're going to be put saithen. Well, moyes ragdo Martes and pay put saithen.
Yeah, how can bear this. Those who are far away and not likely to be able to actually come and see you, clearly it would be easy for them to pay in advance. Well, how appear there? How other da? Fatal, I'll be going into ether. Fatal you thus this G difference than stus KDL as you more in like lemon threes.
Me one. Jeffin Nefra and the rugby gwellas Steve's KDL. And the Chesn, the rugby Parisial Steve's, near better balls, Ninja Gwell, made a couple of Steve's grades in Kernow, and all.
Yeah.
Nefra and the other gwellas point, like example, Mom in the Ponan Disky Frinkek, Nibenef Moors the Almain to Disky. So, and Kefgan's Kernewek, 52 point Moors made the Kernow, the Disky Kernewek. So, mere Braderis Balls Tibbins Dan, the Brizzy Steve's in Kernow.
So this is a Cornish correspondence course that actually emanates from Cornwall.
In a gwir.
Okay. Well, how pair that? Gomer astis rod o tos ama and metin ma heb doubt vis me rather well as in without a Kent's Pel monsieur. Gomer astis.
You're welcome, Johan. You're welcome.
Well asked, you guys. Well, that's about it for today. My thanks again to Rod for coming in, and I hope I'll see you again next week. Of course, I won't see you, but I hope that you'll hear me next week. Mere white do vidder hui o chlywes. Nessa Sathan. Bis enna, diganach we all. God be with you all, as always. Diganach we.